Well, today we start the 3-day trek through the wilderness of Yucaipa. And the state's been working on this project for about 4 years. And it's finally coming to pass.
So excited for the trek because I just enjoy camping in general, and then just pulling all these heavy hand carts and hanging out with my friends. It's going to be a lot of fun. I've never really done anything like this, so it's going to be like a good first thing to do.
I think it's going to be physically challenging, but that the spiritual rewards are worth it.
Maybe spiritually it'll be hard, but physically not that hard. I've done harder things.
Just have to be honest.
I'm probably going to die or break a leg or break an arm or something just because it's my luck.
We were given a list of who our kids were, and I was way excited because 3 of them were from our ward, and so I knew them. And one, Austin Lance, I taught him in 1st grade, so I was excited to have him in my group as well. So right now we're just mingling and trying to get to know each other and find other people that we know.
It's going to be a good experience, a little sweaty, a little heartache, but it'll be good. Very spiritual, very spiritual.
I think it's going to kind of be fun to watch the girls pull the carts because it's going to be hard for them. That's what I'm looking forward to.
Any response to that?
Oh, I'm excited to show the guys up and prove that we're stronger.
I don't think the food's going to be good at all. That's just my opinion, though. I'll just pull a man versus wild and just go hunt my own food.
We expect to have a lot of fun. The kids are going to be stretched as far as perhaps their physical endurance, and we're going to find out who the leaders are and find out how well the kids get along. We anticipate, based on previous experience, that they're going to get along just fine and that they'll be able to handle whatever's thrown at them.
This week, in 1847, this week, I think it was the 9th of April actually, the first wagon trains left for the Salt Lake Valley. And by 1850, several thousand saints had gotten to the valley. This is as close as we can get to putting you in their shoes, to putting you in the example, kind of the situation that they were in. It's my prayer that we will remember the best we can, get the spirit of trying to get together, to work as a family, so that everyone gets there safely.
As head of security, I got a few rules I need you to listen up on these critters and all. So I want to make sure that you come across a bear, repeat after me. Whoa! Whoa! That will scare most bears away, okay? Now, you come across a mountain lion, repeat after me. Ah! Ah! Calls Captain Scott. But quite frankly, I'm scared to death of them critters. The Mormons must be treated as enemies and must be exterminated or driven from the state if necessary for the public peace. Their outrages are beyond all description. If you can increase your force, you are authorized to do so to any extent you may consider necessary.
I know who you are! Don't think you can hide behind that man! Mormons have been causing trouble all over. Get him down here! Let's get the tar!
A mob came into camp and tarred and feathered a decoy for Brother Joseph.
Get the tar on him! Ah! Lieutenant, this is an outrage! Lieutenant, I demand that these feet all over! Get them feathers on him!
In that time, you had to, if you stuck up for your religion, then you'd be tarred and feathered, and how harsh the punishments were for believing in what you believe.
We started trekking, and then there were some times where we had to turn the cart around so we can have leverage and make sure the cart doesn't go off to the other side or down the hill. And there were some parts where we had to really push and pull. So it was really fun. It was a good experience.
I have a good friend named Stephen Bannister who was like, oh, you should come on the trek because it's a lot of fun. And he's like, yeah, all we do is pretty much go up and down with really heavy carts. And I was like, oh, that doesn't really sound like a lot of fun. But now I'm here and it's a lot of fun. My family is really cool, actually. I only knew about 2 people in my family, but then I've met a lot of really cool people. And we're a pretty strong family in connections and brute force. So I think this should be a pretty fun trek. They're a cool bunch of people.
He asked for a brother that was willing to show his dramatic talents. I wasn't quite sure what he meant, but I went up there and they held auditions for who would be Brigham Young tomorrow. And I won somehow, and they gave me told me to grow my hair out, gave me a hat, and so I'm Brother Brigham from now until tomorrow, I think.
So we start hiking, right? And it's just seems like it will never end. Literally, there were points in time I thought, it's like an episode of The Twilight Zone. This is never going to end. We're going to be doing this forever.
Francie's broken in the axle dragon.
Francie's broken in the axle dragon.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
Chugga, 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 chugga.
There were a couple times where we're like, oh, we're almost there. And then when I really got here, I was like, oh, yes. And I didn't even care what we had for dinner. I just went into the line and they're like, okay, we're gonna have this and this. I'm like, I'll have everything. And it was a good dinner too.
For our first meal that we had, where the committee fed everybody, we had about 100 pounds of beef shoulder, cooked them in 4 different ovens for about 12 hours each, brought them here, gave it to a great family, the Minky family from the Orange Crest Ward, cooked about 15 gallons of soup or stew, and that's how we fed them the first night too.
A man who called himself Porter Rockwell talked to us for, I don't know how long, maybe half an hour, told his life story, basically how he assisted Brother Joseph throughout his whole life.
That was really cool. I've heard a lot of stories about him, but he told a lot more in depth and stories that I haven't heard yet, so it was pretty cool.